Hello, and welcome back. It's episode 112. I have just redone all my actions here exactly as I did them in the previous video, except I have not pronounced my verdict. The game seems to be bugged in that it knows that you have found the Swarbacks out, but I didn't find them out. I only found out that the governor's son is guilty of causing the issue in the first place. So that's a bit odd. So let's find the information that proves that they're guilty. Well, they don't have anything more to say. Well, we found these guys not guilty. Nothing.
I always have a backup plan.
Oh, there's a group down here. Helen Gaparik. A finely dressed man in middle years is kneeling in front of the altar, his palms folded in prayer close to his face. Implant-free parts of his skin are a sickly blue color. A nobleman does not react to your presence. He does not lift his head. He does not blink. He does not even breathe. Only when you draw closer do you realize that he is dead. The colors of House Caprak. I do not believe he decided to take his own life in such an extravagant way. As far as I know, there's a warden post here, and I do not see any wardens. There's no one to ask about what happened to her or with whom this man spoke before he died. I would ask Urbend where the palace guard suddenly disappeared to. There are no visible wounds on the body, but near the edge of the gold-trimmed collar you notice a tiny puncture in his blue skin, likely a wound caused by a thin needle. Death came for him suddenly and ravaged his body with cramping spasms that prevented him from falling to the ground. Some rare poisons have such side effects. The affected victim suffocates slowly without being able to move or call for help. Discover in the secret pocket lining of the dead man's luxurious jacket a folded piece of paper inside, hiding behind a handkerchief embroidered with the initials HG. Make sure that the rogue trader is attacked by someone loyal. It should appear as if it was all staged to let the Wersian family escape. This is the last assignment. Soon your debt will be paid off in full. Huh. But how does that implicate the House Swarback?
Always keep your eye on the price.
HG. That's Helen Grapak, right? That's the person who just died. Okay, well I found something, but it doesn't seem to help me any. I discovered a dead body in my palace. The man of House Caprak was killed while praying to the Emperor. He had this note to him. Do you know anything about it? No, I know nothing about this note.
Rise to the top or get left in the dust.
I have yet to be found guilty of anything. I discovered a dead body, a member of your house, right here in my palace. He died kneeling in prayer. Hallen, it can't be. Hallen, was it? Tell me about him. He's one of the lower-ranking members of House Caprak. Despite his advanced age, he never held high office, but was forever striving to better his position, even beyond his abilities. Many members of my house struggled to cope with the misfortune that befell Kiva Gamma and our family. Some members could not reconcile themselves to our new position. Helen was one of them. Now, the time to keep silent is long gone. The future of the Von Valencius trade dynasty and your house are both at stake now. We lost Kiva Gamma, a truly devastating blow to every member of House Caprak. I lost all hope for the future, and my king lost their sense of purpose. We needed time to recover and chart a new course for ourselves. We were, and still, more than capable of doing that. I will not deny it. Other houses offered us their assistance for their own self-serving ends. Perhaps Helen decided to take them up on one of their offers behind my back. Lord Captain, the Capraks, all or perhaps only some of them, are definitely involved. I suspect they were not behind the plot against you. Helen Caprak could be nothing more than a puppet in the hands of a deaf puppet master. We must expose whoever that is if we are to prevent the pestilence of heresy from spreading any further. You have already got the grounds to suspect House Swarback of the conspiracy in orchestrating the attempt on your life. Governor Drivestam's decision to unjustly accuse House Warsian also casts doubt on his competence. Tell him that you are ready to pronounce your verdict, but before you do so I suggest focusing on each house in your indictment speech, and I shall observe them. I have known these people far longer than you have. I know all their gestures, habits, and behavioral quirks. I'm sure I will be able to determine which one of them was responsible for the riots based on their behavior. Okay.
Is there money to be made?
Nothing more to do here. Nothing more to do here. Abelard is going to do something special during the... Oh, here we go. I found a dead body in my palace. A member of House Caprak was slain in front of an altar. Do you know anything about it? No one noticed. How? There are wardens posted at every altar. There was no one near the deceased. The wardens left their post. Did you order them to do so? Emperor forbid, your lordship. Your negligence is stunning, Urband. An assassination attempt followed by a mysterious death, and yet here you are, oblivious to everything. A rogue trader can justly accuse you of allowing a noble to be killed in the palace and of failing to even notice it. It may be so, but it is for the rogue trader to accuse me of negligence, not you. Your lordship, accept my deepest apologies for my impudence. Imprudence, sorry. Nothing matters more to me than my honour. I shall send servants to deal with all of this immediately. Did you see Macarius Swarback the day before I arrived? I did not see him myself, but perhaps. Have any of you seen him today? My sister and I saw him sitting on a bench some distance away from the palace entrance. I think he was accompanied by a gentleman, but forgive us, your lordship, we did not make out his face. Lead me to that place.
Keep your wits about you. This is intriguing.
I have learned much in my exile.
House Swarback usually serves this wine. Okay, that's the connection.
I always keep my options open.
I don't know, it just doesn't add up. The evidence is good enough to prove the Wersians are innocent, but the only person who's guilty is this guy's son of making a mistake. And there's obviously a co-conspirator out there who set all this up. But who it is not obvious. However, I guess that wine was used to poison that guy. I guess that's supposed to be the connection. There was that circle of dudes down here, but
I always have a backup plan.
I don't know if that was significant.
Let's make a deal.
Yeah. Alright, let's see what changed, if anything. Still kind of weird, though. Charges brought by Governor Driveston were fabricated, houseworthy, and had nothing to do with the orchestration of the riots or the plot targeting the rogue trader. However, the real perpetrators are here in this very room. Well, this has changed. Urban Driveston, you accused the Houseworthy of violations that in truth result of a grave error committed by your son. That is true. Governor closes his eyes, fear and shame getting the better of him. Some faces of the crowd look confused and surprised. We see more wearing expressions of self-satisfied contempt. Abelard looks at you, from the governor to you and subtly shakes his head as if to say no. It is not Driveston pulling the strings here. I know that House Swarback offered their help to the Gerprax, and the late Hallam Gerprax seemed to have accepted the offer. I suspect that you're responsible for his death as well. I think that's the correct choice. Swarback furrows his brow and slightly cocks his head. He averts his gaze for the first time as if trying to remember or make sense of something. You notice some restless movements behind him. Abelard narrows his eyes and scrutinizes Marius Swarback and his retinue standing behind him. His sharp eyes light up when he catches sight of something important and hidden in the crowd. The Seneschal looks at you and nods as if to say, the puppeteer have given themselves away. Pronounce the verdict. House Swarback guilty. Seneschal, you may take it from here. House Swarback guilty. The head of your family has never tried to hide his attitude towards me. That is more than enough to convict him. House Swarback guilty. One of your members orchestrated attack on the rogue trader. Treason by anyone's reckoning. Let's let Abelard deal with it. Macarius, I must admit I've always admired your bluntness, but just as I once had to say goodbye to a promotion because of my dislike for intrigue, you and your family might soon say goodbye to your heads. Tell me now, in your blunt fashion, are you loyal to House von Valancius? I am loyal, Wercian. You are not lying, but someone else is. Someone who is poised to destroy both you and your family for her own gain. Macarius does not have time to respond. Regina, who is standing beside him, raises her arm as if to slap the elderly Seneschal. Abelard deftly catches her wrist, stopping her hand right in front of his face. Her dainty hand is adorned with a massive augmetic ring, topped with a thin spike dripping with venom. Wow, that animation was terrible. This game could learn so much from Reverse Collapse when it comes to animation, my god. You know, the little animations of the characters interacting in that game are so good. Swarback shifts his confused gaze from his wife to Abelard, then again. Stiff arrogance has vanished from his posture. Regina, you? Mother, upon realizing what has happened, Retkar recoils from his mother. Macarius, your bluntness has made you an open book. When I talked about helping the Geprax, you had no idea what I was referring to. Your wife, on the other hand, her eyes started shifting like you would not believe. Regina Swarback, you alone betrayed the rogue trader. jeopardizing the prosperity of the von Valancius trade dynasty, and you alone are responsible for your unmasking. Who aided you? There's no way you managed all this on your own. Of course I didn't. I had too many helpers to list them all, but rest assured there are plenty of them, just as there are plenty of people who follow Master Votigvir. My death will not change anything. The true rogue trader will come and take his rightful place when the time is right. Hallen was a good agent, but he was also a coward. He came to me just before our formidable rogue trader arrived. He was ready to confess everything. He suggested that he plead for the Emperor's forgiveness first, and he did grant him mercy, did he not? Because Dargonus is serving an impostor, the true heir to the Protectorate bears a different name. When Conrad appeared on Dargonus, he paid me a visit and opened my eyes to the truth of the situation. Theodora was killed by the one whom she had so unwarily taken under her wing. Macarius is too narrow-minded to even consider opposing the rogue trader, even an illegitimate one, so I had to wait for the right moment. And the disappearance of the Lord Captain could not have come at a better time. It was quite simple to trigger a chain of events on Dargonus, so that the people remembered Master Voktivar's past service. It seems that many of your subjects do not actually consider you a worthy successor. Because when stripped of the Seneschal's protection, this house is the weakest one in all of Dargonus, and they are particularly disliked by the governor's family. It would have been easy to bury the Wersians under accusations of heresy. I thought there could have been something special between us. I'm not going to do that. Abelard, the sentence is yet to be carried out. Finish this. Does the rogue trader condemn only the rotten apple or the entire barrel? I will not exterminate an entire noble line that is loyal to me just because of one traitor. In that case, Regina Srawback will be subjected to intense interrogation followed by execution. A ring weapon that fires a single liquefier shot can only be used once per combat, contaminates a 3-cell area, inflicts 10 toxic damage and implies melting every turn. Interesting, but not that great. Okay, that's how you're supposed to do it. Still a bit odd, though, that you accuse the right family without actually really knowing that it's them. I don't know, it feels like an oversight. Not how I want to go. Man, it's like 5 episodes since I started playing again and we haven't had a single battle. It's just been plot galore. Lord Captain, you have my thanks. A rogue trader should not waste time on matters that his servants and trustees can resolve, but in this case your intervention was necessary. Not only for the sake of my family, but your trade dynasty as well. Evidently, Conrad's accomplices continue to plot against your protectorate. I fear we've not heard the last of such scoundrels. Thanks to you, Lord Captain, House Wersian is saved, although it came close to being wiped out as a result of scheming. Okay, we saw this. I need time to reflect on what happened and the role I played in it. I think I'll be ready to resume this conversation later when we are back on the ship. Talk to Abelard on the bridge. I guess the other characters have all gone. And that there is no longer anything to do here. Okay, I think we're done here. That was kind of a weird quest, that one. It kind of almost wants you to it wants to goad you into pronouncing a verdict before you have all the correct information. Ah, old Wolfie McWolfface is here. He probably doesn't have anything interesting to say, though. Okay, let's go and talk to old Abelard. Before I do that, interesting little sword. Okay. I guess we're done. Let's go and talk to the Seneschal. And then we'll decide what we're doing next.
Lord Captain, allow me to express my gratitude once again for your assistance. If it weren't for your intervention, my entire family could have been executed on false charges. I could have lost them all. I never imagined the Viserians would be so vulnerable while I serve as Seneschal to the Lord Captain himself, far from home.
Viserians. Is that how you pronounce it?
To tell you the truth, Lord Captain, this whole situation has got me thinking. As patriarch of the Viserian family, I have a responsibility to my bloodline. Yes, it is my duty to serve as Seneschal to the rogue trader, and I have no intention of relinquishing that role if you find my service as satisfactory as did Lady Theodora. However, if I could be more involved in my family's affairs and still serve the von Valancius dynasty. Under Lady Theodora, I served as steward of the Trade Protectorate on more than one occasion. In that capacity, I was based on Dargonus, rather than traveling with the rogue trader on the flagship. If it would be possible, after the immediate need for my presence is over, I would like to return to that position. To oversee the Trade Protectorate on the capital world, while at the same time presiding over the Viserian family, and using my authority to help elevate it.
Sure, why not?
Thank you, Lord Captain. Under my watch, the Trade Protectorate will remain safe and prosper in service to you. Well then, Lord Captain, it is time I return to my duties. Is there anything else I can do for you? Lord Captain.
Okay, job's done. What else do we need to do? So these two are the quests that I think progress the story. Find the world from Adira's visions. Oh, I still have this quest to find my boots. I don't think there's any way to do that anymore. And I got them back anyway, so it's kind of weird. I guess there's nothing else to do. Idira or Idirir's quest could be anywhere. I wonder if these things still exist because maybe the patch that brought them in is like too late for my save game. Let's just check some of these. No. I still have markers for events that appear to be done. A monstrous storm has broken out. Apocalyptic anomalies are tearing our agri-world apart. The epicenter is in the desecrated sector. Something must be done before the whole colony is destroyed. Furious storm has covered half the continent. We can see its epicenter from orbit, the ruins of a xenostructure complex. We thought the debris of the buildings turned out to be a machine. Now it rouses from its sleep, shining blue and purple lights. The spheres melded into it. It's relatively safe only in those parts of the desecrated sector that have been scarred by our weapons. For some reason there are fewer anomalies than in other places. Leader of the Inquisitor squad did not grace us with a full report that she'd been hastily preparing for the expedition for the heart to the anomaly. She mysteriously claims that we have become the witness to an ancient clash between Xenos. In spite of our unfamiliarity with their conflict, it is important to choose our ally in this struggle wisely, whatever that means. Some wretch by the name of Kenya, whatever, has come out of the thicket to meet our people. It's hard to understand him, but he has managed to explain to soldiers that Kalion and Kesse are fighting. Kalion is in its usual way, and Kesse in a wrong, corrupted way. He's like he wants to collaborate with us and is trying to ask for help. Escort squad reports that the people of Lady Zoo demonstrate incredible skill investigating the anomalies and advancing towards the epicenter. Our people have reached the Xenos ruins that once served as either a palace or a gargantuan machine. They have encountered an extremely high concentration of spirits. It appears the spirits are fighting among themselves with two particularly vivid ghostly figures among them. One of these prominent spirits radiates blue light and seems to be clad in Eldari armor. The other is engulfed in purple flames and clad in a Xenos ceremonial regiment. They utter sounds reminiscent of Eldari speech, but any attempts to translate them have proved unsuccessful. It is an old dialect from the time before the fall. Order your warriors to aid the spirit wreathed in blue. It fights for the Lithuanians' purity against despicable sorcery. Even as an echo of this spirit's voice is enough to understand that its cause is just, I can teach your people how to explain to the blue spirits that they are not their enemy. What does it matter what these spirits are babbling about? They both must be slain. Altavata, turn to your warriors and inspire them to fight for their home to the very last. They already made sacrifices to get this far, so remind them what those sacrifices were for. Lady Zhu intends to fight both sides of this spirit conflict, but your soldiers are waiting for you to confirm her orders. Let's go with the Xenos plan. The scouts attacked, destroying the purple spirits one after another. The blue phantoms recognized their new allies and did not harm them. Once the battle was over, the dignified spirits swathed in blue flames reached out to the scouts' thoughts, granting them visions. The planet, which was inhabited by the Eldari prior to the fall, at some point became one of the many theatres of war between sensual excess, the dogma that reigned over the Xenos of that time, and ascetic self-restraint. A local ruler, Kasari, was enlightened and wise, yet susceptible to depravity. In his desire to transfer his soul to another form of existence, he created a mechanism that would let him take over the bodies and minds of all of his people. One of the ruler's bodyguard, named Halcyon, rose against the tyrant and mortally wounded him, but he could not stop him from merging with the machine. Halcyon then gave his life to bind his own spirit to the device and continue fighting therein. This tragic conflict marked the end of all Eldari on the planet, but preserved an echo of their souls and those of their leaders. Then the spirits disappeared, but for how long? The bodies of the fallen and a strange relic discovered among the ruins were the only proof that, for a single day, Genesis was once more engulfed in a war between long-fallen Xenos. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, all done. Very good. Right, Langren's Belt was the place where we were supposed to be going for one of these quests. Wasn't it like around here somewhere? There it is. Blop. I'm just going to check each system since we're in a different chapter, just in case anything appears. We explored this place before, didn't we? This is like the purple... This is the place with the purple beams that open those chests. I'm just going to double check it. No, I've never been here.
Rise to the top, or get left in the dust.
Alright, well, time for a little detour on our way to Langram's Belt.
Oh, it's a peculiar thing.
None are better at searching.
cannot go on like this, Helena. I cannot. I serve my master loyalty, as did my father and his father before that. This cannot continue. I am tired. To bury the corpses of murderers and traitors to the Imperium is the noble thing to do, but now I must conceal the deaths of these innocent young men and women. They are almost children. Cursed be the day when this governor became the ruler of this world. I will break this vicious cycle, I promise. Tonight we will flee the estate together and journey to the Star Speakers. They will warn the servants of the God Emperor about the heresy lurking in these walls.
Keep a sharp eye.
Wow, you spotted those goods through the wall.
Is there money to be made?
Why do I get the feeling that these guys are not friendly? Wow, I just went a bit Jar Jar Binks there. Why do I get the feeling that these guys are not friendly? Ooh. Not sure what counts as a heavy weapon.
A job for me. And done.
Bonebreaker Mall. Another Bonebreaker
Let
Mall.
us not dawdle.
State your intention.
Decree of gubernatorial will, by the grace of the God Emperor of mankind. Hereby command to provide for the needs of the government's office. No more and no fewer than 20 faithful young men and maidens picked in accordance with our instructions. Robust and firm in body and spirit, voluptuous in shape or of similar height and stature, dainty and beautiful. Okay, that's worrying.
I
Oh, I thought I
always keep
collected
my
that.
options open.
Okay, we're out of time. But I think that these guys are probably hostile. And will probably turn on me the moment I walk in there. So that should be interesting. But that is it for now. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. And I'll see you guys next time.